Here's a Beyond the Pitch podcast quick hit from the WVSA Digital Network.
Well, first off and foremost, there's got to be some education. We got to make sure the athletes are properly hydrating. We got to make sure they're getting at least 10 glasses of water a day, maybe more, but it depends on their sweat rate. So there's actually a formula for sweat rate, and I would advise our listeners to go to the Corey Stringer Institute, and they have a formula there that each individual athlete can calculate their sweat rate. So that's number one. Number two, when they start seeing these signs and symptoms of especially heat stroke, we got to make sure we get the body cooled down. And if you don't have an ice tub immersion, you got to make sure you have ice on board. You got to make sure you make ice bags and put them in the proper places underneath their armpits, on top of their neck, and in the groin area. Also, ice towels will help. Dip, towels in ice and water. Get it on top of them. Just try to cool that body as quickly and as fast as you can.
And I think that's something that our coaches need to really take extra care with, that sometimes, we don't think about these things, and that you're out in the heat and you don't think that an emergency could end up happening, but it could. You mentioned the ice, you mentioned, having coolers, having an immersion tub, ice tub, towels, things along that lines. Is there any other special things that you can think of that you can give to our coaches that maybe they want? Should we have some sort of shelter out there to get them out of the direct sunlight? What are some other things?
Yes, you want to immediately remove them from that type of atmosphere and get them in a cooler place, a shadier place, potentially even throw them in a car with air conditioning. Whatever you can do to get them in a cooler place would be the appropriate thing. What we typically do as athletic trainers, we carry rectal thermometers, so we know exactly what the temperature of the core body is. That way we can properly treat them. Coaches will probably not have those types of instruments. So
right.
The biggest thing is to cool them, hydrate them, and try to just cool them down as quickly as possible. And the way we do that is ice immersion or putting ice in the proper places.